Hello dear students, in this video we are going to study Canto 5 of the poem Ode to the West Wind composed by P.B. Shelley, and on your screen you can see the PDF of Canto 5th, and the opening lines of this stanza is: Make me thy lyre even as the forest is. What if my leaves are falling like its own? The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone, sweet though in sadness. Be thou spirit fierce, my spirit, be thou me, impetuous one. Drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves to quicken a new birth, and by the incantation of this verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth ashes and sparks, my words among mankind. Be through my lips to unawaken earth the trumpet of a prophecy. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? As we have discussed in our previous videos, that Shelley's treatment of nature is of a restless soul. Shelley is not content merely to love and worship nature. His very being is fused and blended with the nature herself. For Shelley, nature is the voice of human who he finds in nature a sympathetic companion who listens to his tale of woe. Shelley holds passionate communion with the universe and becomes one with the west wind and the lark. He contributes to the objects of nature what goes on in his own mind, and thus he intellectualizes nature. And this theme is present in Canto 5th. Now, in the starting lines, he implores West Wind to make him her lyre. Lyre is a string instrument like harp, and in the opening lines of this canto, P.B. Shelley is urging West Wind to make him her lyre, even as the forest is. What if my leaves are falling like its own? And in the second line of this stanza, he questions himself that I don't have any matter, I don't get it into my mind if even if my leaves are falling, because I am so content with the power, with the force of west wind. If west wind makes the poet his her lyre, the tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone, sweet though in sadness. In these lines, he is comparing his own life with the life of forest leaves, and he is saying that, O wild west wind, your mighty harmonies, your hustle bustle power, or your power of wind will take from me a deep autumnal tone. Means the poet is so pessimistic at the time of writing these lines, that he is saying that although your force will take my autumnal tone, my pessimistic tone, but you will, with the power of your strength, you will make this melancholic tone into sweet tone. Be thou spirit fierce. Now he is again urging west wind to be spirit, to be a fierce spirit, to be a strong spirit. And again in the line, he is saying my spirit, and he is invocating the west wind to be a strong, fierce spirit. Be thou me, impetuous one. Now he is again requesting west wind to become a powerful spirit. And in the next lines, he is saying, drive my dead thoughts over the universe like withered leaves. Now again he is using simile, and he is saying that likewise when you drive all the withered leaves and to use these withered leaves as a compost to give a new birth to new seeds, same in the manner you drive my dead thoughts, you drive my outward thoughts from this universe, and to with the power of your strength you make my dead thoughts a compost and to quick a new birth of new ideas. And by the incantation of this verse, and now again he is mentioning the importance, he is signifying the this verse, and he is saying that with the magic spelling words of these of this present verse, you scatter my dead thoughts as from an unextinguished hearth. Now again he is using simile figures of speech, and he is saying that likewise when an unextinguished hearth is blown by wind, ashes and sparks spread all over the environment, same in the manner with the help of this verse, this verse's words, and that these words will work like a magic. You scatter my these words, and with the help of these words, my words among mankind, these words will do a magic among mankind, be through my lips to unawaken earth. And now again he is saying that with the help of your uh, strength, with the help of your fierce spirit, you scatter my words in the mankind through your lips to unawakened earth. And you the poet is so uh, in the last line, the poet is so optimistic that he is saying, you take my words, and you, if you scatter my words to the unawakened earth like the trumpet of a prophecy, then this will awaken the mankind on earth. O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? And in the last line, that is most memorable, most commented lines of in English literature, and this line also show the optimistic tone of P.B. Shelley, and his idealizing imagination turns concrete objects into ideas in this line. And with this powerful concluding line, that is, if winter comes, can spring be far behind, he is able to introduce his optimistic nature to all the readers. So, if we analyze this poem, we see that Shelley uses the west wind as a symbol for his own thoughts. He looks upon the west wind as a destroyer of the old order and the preserver of the new one. It is symbol of forces that will end all evil and bring about the golden age. And the last line of this poem is also a push towards the golden age that Shelley dreamed of. The poet calls the west wind destroyer and preserver in the first canto. After that, he sees the west wind as a symbol of radical changes, a power that can destroy as well as preserve. It destroys the old and the useless and preserve the new and the growing, and the same thing is shown in this canto also. So the west wind is a symbol for regeneration following on the heels of destruction. Towards the end of the poem, Shelley sees the west wind as the symbol of the forces that will create a golden age for mankind. And the last canto shows optimistic nature of Shelley's ideals. Shelley was a prophet, and his poetry is the medium of his prophetic message. He was a visionary who dreamed of the golden age, and in the concluding lines of West Wind, Ode to the West Wind, Shelley takes up the role of a prophet and a reformer. He is aware of the fact that the old revolutionary fire of his young days is no longer in him, but his brain is like a unextinguished hearth. He requests the west wind to scatter from his fiery mind the ashes and sparks of his revolutionary zeal. Shelley believes that if the west wind lends its power to him, he can shake the world by his prophetic words. Through his poem, he wants to spread the gospel of hope to humanity lying low in the pool of ignorance and misery. And the last line, which is a very important and very much quoted line in English literature: the golden age in Shelley's view lies not in the past but in the future. He hopes that the dark period will end and period of prosperity and plenty must dawn. Now we can analyze the poem, and on your screen you can see the alliteration, the metaphors used in stanza 8, the apostrophe, the personification also. So that's all for today, students. Thank you all.